Hey, what's up guys, it's ThatKiddJake, and today I'm finally back from a few months I was off from. Hope you guys are all having a great 2014. I know I'm a little late because it's almost February already, which time is going by so fast. I remember I thought last week was, New Year's already, so that's pretty amazing. Well, in this video I want to talk about whether or not you should be buying physical or digital video games, especially with the new consoles that came out in November, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. So I'm just going to give you my opinions on whether or not you should be buying physical or digital and what I personally think about it. So I do have my Nexus for some notes here, so I'll occasionally be looking down. So the question is, why should I pick one of these? What benefits do each one of these have, and what are the cons? So starting with digital, so what's great about digital? So the first thing that's really great about digital is its day one access. I think both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One promise that all new games are going to be available day one, right when they come out, so you're not going to have to wait a certain amount of time. So that's great that you can download it day one. So if you don't have gas, you don't have access to a car, you can't get a ride till a few more days, then it's really great that you can just have it that day so you're not missing out playing with your friends, and I think that's one of the big deals when buying digital. Always the pro of any type of digital content is that it's always there for you. So obviously with physical media you can lose it, get scratched, whatever. You always have it, it's always going to be in the cloud, always available for re-download. So that's one of the great things about digital. And also, it's not that big of a difference, but with digital, at least on the PlayStation 4, is that there's no sales tax. So games that are $60, you pay $60 for on the PlayStation 4, and I'm not sure about the Xbox One, but I'm sure it's very similar. But if you go to Best Buy, it's going to be $65, so it's going to be a $5 difference. So that might affect your buying decision. So that's really the pros of digital, and those are good pros. So what's bad about digital? Well, the first thing that's bad, I think personally for me, is that there's such large download files. So you have these files that are 50 gigabytes, and if you have most people in America, I think the average download speed is 7 megabytes, which is crazy. I mean, I have Time Warner cable here in New York, and it's really inconsistent. I can have 4 megabytes to 20 megabytes just at a given notice, so it's really not that great using Time Warner cable where I live. So I mean, I went to download Battlefield 4, I think it's around 40 gigabyte file, which is very large, and it took me almost a whole day. Just because the internet speeds, just in America and in general, we don't all have Google Fiber. Just very limited people have, higher speeds over 100 megabytes. So I'm really waiting for, gigabit Ethernet to internet to actually come and take over America, so we can have these download speeds. So at this current day of age, we don't have those speeds, so that's a con. Also, there's no resale value, so if you play a game, you get bored of it, or you just didn't like it, usually Best Buy, you can't return it after you open it, so the only thing you can do is trade it in. But if you buy it digitally, then you have nothing to trade in, and it's sort of just stuck to your account, and it's you could have got $20 or $30 for it if you were just sell it on eBay or trade it in. So there's no resale value. Also, the larger files equals, this also goes into the download speeds, but since they're large files, they're going to take up more space on your hard drive, and they take so long to download. So it's if you want to delete something to play something new, then you're going to have to delete that game and wait a whole day to download this new game, and then you want to play the other game, you have to delete that and then play the new game. So that's sort of it's really the download speeds that are a big issue, personally for me. So those are the pros and cons of digital, and they're great pros and cons. Now, what are the pros of using physical media, Blu-ray disc? One, there's no download. The PlayStation 4, it takes 30 seconds to a minute for everything to actually install, because you have to install every game, but it's really quick. It's a minute or less, which is really great. Again, there's a resale value, so if you don't like the game, you can go trade it in. Also, you can share it with your friends. It's not tied to one account. There's no restrictions on it, so that's really nice. So that's the main pros of physical. Now, so let's look at the cons of physical discs. They take up space. You know, I'm like very organized, so they take up space, and it's nice always having digital media like in the cloud or something, because you know, especially living in New York City, I have such smaller space. I don't have room for a bunch of video games, and over the course of, you know, the PlayStation 4's lifespan, I'm sure I'm going to gather a lot of games, and you know, it gets tough carrying like having so much stuff. So that's more of a personal thing, but it may affect some people. They obviously can be scratched, you know, something that you can lose them, and they're sort of lost forever, and you know, there's nothing you can do about it because it's not tied to your account. So that's the thing that really sucks about physical. And then the only other thing is that you actually have to go somewhere and buy it. Duh, that's physical. So yeah, I'm gonna put this down here. And so overall, I think if it's really hard to say if I should pick digital or physical. I'll tell you guys right now, my choice is physical. And the only reason is the internet speeds, because when I want to play a game, I mean, I could go out, go have lunch and have an ice cream, go to Best Buy and get the video game, and then be home, and I'll still be able to play faster than if I were to download it, because it takes like a whole day, and it's really crazy that it takes so long, especially if you have, you know, bad internet. I have pretty decent internet, but it's Time Warner Cable. They're really inconsistent, so it could be like really good and then really bad. And if someone's like streaming on Netflix, then you can forget about it. So that's sort of my pick. I'm picking physical, but I just wanted to let everyone know it's physical because of the download speed. It's not necessarily because the digital's bad. I actually prefer digital. You know, I switched to digital for about everything. You know, music. You know, for the most part, movies. I do collect a few Blu-rays, but not really. I like having everything in the cloud, and we're just not ready. You know, because movies are like 5 gigabyte files, which are very large too, but they're not as large as 50 gigabytes, and that's going to take so much longer to download. So I think that's the main concern. If you're really debating about this issue, is how fast is your internet speed. If you have, you know, Google Fiber right now, you're one of the lucky few, then, you know, I think digital will be a great platform. Or if you're just somebody that's, you know, you're not sure about games, and you just, you know, you trade in a lot. If you're not a collector, then definitely see if you can get some money back. Or if you don't really care, if you lose that $20 or $30 you might be able to get back, then, you know, you have to just, you know, weigh the pro and cons for myself. But personally, that's my story. It's just the download speeds that are holding me back. So, well, that's pretty much all I have about the pros and cons of whether you should buy physical or digital media. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I hope to be making more videos soon. So please subscribe and like this video so I can bring more content to you guys. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching and have a great day.